Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. Today we have another lesson, Mega Goal 6. But before we start, let's take a quick overview of the previous lesson. We started talking about the title of the third unit, which is Beauty is Only Skin Deep. We said it means that beauty is only an artificial thing. It doesn't reflect the inner beauty and the personal traits. Yesterday, we had the 10th part in this unit, which is writing. In this lesson, we focused on writing the persuasive essays. We learned what is the meaning of persuasive essays, what are the elements of the persuasive essays. We also learned how to write the persuasive essay. We started the lesson by having some questions that could help us to activate our prior knowledge about what we are going to read. And also, these questions were focused mainly on the theme of this title, of this unit, which is beauty. Then after that, we read a persuasive essay that is titled as The Importance of Wealth. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the persuasive essay. We said that it is an essay written for a goal. What is that goal? This goal is to persuade, to convince the reader of the writer's opinion. If you have an opinion about something, an argument about something that you want to convince or to persuade people about, then you go ahead and you write a persuasive essay. The persuasive essay has some elements. It has 5 paragraphs. They can be 6 or they can be 4 paragraphs. It's fine. It starts with an introduction. In this introduction, you start with an overview, with a general sentence about the opposing ideas. Then you state your own idea with some or the main points that you are going to write about. Then after that, you have 1, 2, 3 bodies. In the body, in each one, you have a thesis statement or topic sentence where you write your own ideas or your own arguments that support your main argument. And each thesis statement is reinforced with examples from your own life or from the lives of others or anything that you have read before, and also provide more arguments that could help you prove your point of view. And then at the end, you have the conclusion. In the conclusion, you summarize everything that you have said. So we have 3 parts. The first one is an introduction. In the introduction, you tell people what you want to say. In the body, you say, and in the conclusion, you tell people what you have said. Okay? These are the 3 elements. After that, we move to this page where we have a chart. In this chart, we have 2 columns. On the right side, beauty is important because, and on the right side, beauty is not important because. And you were asked to pick a stance regarding this question. Is beauty important? You decide if it's important or not. Then you go ahead, research, think, reflect upon this question, then write your own ideas here or there if you want, and after that start writing your own persuasive essay. We have here this example of an introduction to a persuasive essay. Although some say that being beautiful has its drawbacks, I think beauty brings far more benefits than problems. When I say beautiful, I mean healthy, well-groomed and attractive, and so on. So this is an example of an introduction to a persuasive essay. After that, we have in the writing corner some tips that could help you write your own persuasive essay. The first one, think about opposing views and arguments. Number two, consider your viewpoint. Use arguments that support your view. Use arguments that weaken the opposing view. Address your reader in as friendly a manner as possible. Address opposing views as if you can hear the reader's thoughts. Don't patronize your reader and don't be aggressive. Reflect on the things that put you off and lead you to stop reading something, and avoid such things when you write. Today, on page 44, we have the 11th part in this unit, which is form, meaning, and function. In each form, meaning, and function lesson, we learn some vocabulary and grammatical rules, and we try to integrate them together so we learn something. We will start today with the first part. Today we have around 5 or 6 parts. We will start with the easiest part, which is need to be done. Need to be. The hairbrushes need to be produced more cheaply. The zip on my handbag needs to be replaced. When we say about something that it needs to be, that means we want someone to go and do that thing. For example, in the first sentence, the hairbrushes need to be produced. That means we want somebody to produce the hairbrushes more cheaply. In the second sentence, the zip on my handbag needs to be replaced. That means someone needs to replace the zip on my handbag. Needs to be, that means we want someone to do that thing. Either we do it or we ask someone to do it. This is the first part of our lesson today, which is need to be. The word or the expression need to be is usually followed by a verb in the past. We add an ed or we use the perfect form. After that, we have or get something done. Have or get something done. This is when we do something, but we don't do it by ourselves, we ask someone or we let someone do it on our behalf. We do something not by ourselves, but by the others. We let the others do this thing on our behalf. For example, I will have or get my hair cut tomorrow. I will have my hair cut tomorrow. Or I'm having my hair cut tomorrow. The third one, I'm going to have or to get my hair cut next week. The last thing, I had or got my hair cut yesterday. In each one of these examples, we did something or we are going to do something to, for example, in this example, to our hairs or to his hair. He wants to do something to his hair. He wants to cut his hair, but he will not do that by himself. He will ask someone to do it. After that, we have the past participles as adjectives. Firstly, let's talk about the meaning of participle before we talk about the past participle before we talk about the past participle as adjective. Participle is a verb form that can be used in more than one way. It can be used as an adjective, it can be used as a verb, or it can be also used as a passive or active voice. Okay? Here it is used as an adjective. For example, if we want to use a past participle as an adjective, it has to be in the past participle. We shouldn't use it in the present form. It should be used in the past participle. For example, we have here the word break, broken, crack, cracked, damage, damaged, tear, torn. So we either add ed or we change the word or we turn the word into the verb 3 if it's an irregular verb. In the first example, the zip was broken. He fixed the broken zip. So here the word broken is a past participle, but it's not a verb, it's an adjective. In the second example, the mirror was cracked. I threw away the cracked mirror. Also, the word cracked here is a past participle, but it's not a verb, it is an adjective. And we can say the same with the third and the fourth examples. After that, we have present and past participles. Present and past participles. We talked about the past participle as an adjective. Now we have present and past participles, but not as adjectives. We use participle clause to give more information. We use the present participle with the ing form when the meaning is active. This is the third usage that we have talked about. We said the participle can be used to give a meaning, or to be an adjective, or to be a verb, or it can be used for the passive voice or the active voice. Now we are talking about the active and the passive voices. The ing form when the meaning is active. For example, companies selling beauty products understand the importance most societies place on appearance. People arriving early will be given priority seating. If you notice here that we are using a verb like arrive, and we added an ing, so it's a gerund, arriving, but there is no verb be before. We are used to seeing sentences like people arriving, or sorry, people who are arriving early will be given priority seating. Why we are using it this way? In the present and past participles, if we want to give an information, this is a way of giving an information in an economical way. So we are using this way, or we are using the economical way, which is using as less words as we can. So companies selling beauty products understand the importance most societies place on appearance. Number two, people arriving early will be given priority seating. We use with the past participle the ed form when the meaning is passive. So we use the ing form when the meaning is active, and the ed when the meaning is passive. The cosmetics industry, built around making people look and feel more beautiful, is worth $1 billion. Why we didn't add ed here? Because the word build is an irregular verb. And the same goes for the second example. The jewelry stolen last week has been found. The word steal is an irregular verb, so we used the word stolen. Participle clauses with conjunctions and prepositions. The conjunctions and prepositions are words that help us link or connect the words together so they make more sense. We use the ing form of the verb after these conjunctions and prepositions like while, before, after, on, without, or instead of. For example, while working out at the gym, he saw an old school friend. Number two, before exercising. Number three, on arriving. Number four, instead of going. So we used the verb and we added the ing to this verb. So it has become a participle clause after these conjunctions and prepositions. While working, before exercising, on arriving, instead of going. Now we have past and present participle adjectives. The past participle and the present participle forms of verb can be also used as adjectives. Past participles generally end in ed. We have talked about this in the previous part, but can also end in d, t, en, or n and describe how someone feels. Mariam and Muna were excited about visiting the new store. Present participle always end in ing and describe what causes the feeling. So in the first part, we are describing how people feel, and in the second part with the ing, we are describing or we are saying what causes that feeling. For example, looking at jewelry for a wedding is exciting. So this is the causes for our feeling. Now we have exercise, or this exercise, where we have 7 sentences. Rewrite the sentences using a past or present participle so that the meaning stays the same. So in each one of these sentences, we will rewrite the sentence by using the words between the brackets here, and we have to make sure that the meaning of the sentence stay the same. We have an example here. We have an example. The first example is, Muna tried on gold earrings. Here, as you can see in the picture, Muna tried on gold earrings. Mariam told her about the wedding plans. What are we asked to do here? We should use the word while in the sentence, okay, and keep the meaning of the sentence the same. So the sentence becomes like, while Mariam told her about the wedding plans, Muna tried on gold earrings. Now you can pause the video right now, have some time to do the exercise by your own. Then after that, you can resume to check the examples, to check the answers with us. But we will do the first one together. Number 1, the train which is arriving on platform 3 is the 10:33 Fast City link. And we are asked to use the word arriving. Okay, now we are talking about the train which is arriving on platform 3. So how do you think we can rewrite this sentence by using the word arriving? It becomes like that. The train arriving on platform 3 is the 10:33 Fast City link. What happened? We talked about the present and past participle. We said, the present participle, and we said it's a way or an economical way of telling an information. If you want to say an information in an economical way with as less words as possible, we use this way. So we took out which is, and we rewrote the sentence as it is. The train arriving on platform 3 is the 10:33 Fast City link. Now, I wish you can do the rest of the sentences by your own. Number 2, the doctor who they called out lives nearby. And we are asked here to use the word called. So the answer is, the doctor called out lives nearby. What happened? We took out some part of the sentence. Number 3, they didn't go home. They went to the park instead. So the answer is, instead of going home, they went to the park. Number 4, he was listening to the football game on the radio, and at the same time, he did his homework. The answer is, while listening to the football game, he did his homework. Number 5, the stock market crash, which occurred in 2008, affected many people around the world. The answer is, the stock market crash occurring in 2008 affected many people around the world. Number 6, the news that Jack hadn't been accepted to his first choice of university was disappointing. Jack was disappointed when he found out he hadn't been accepted to his first choice of university. And the last one is, as soon as you arrive at the airport, you must check in your bags. The answer is, on arriving at the airport, you must check in your bags. After that, we have an exercise regarding the first thing we have learned today, which is the expression need to be. We have an example here. As you can notice here, the jacket is stained. So, what should we do with the jacket? The jacket is stained, so it needs to be dry, cleaned. We have here a box with 8 words that you can use or that could help you writing your own sentences for each one of these examples or for each one of these pictures. We have 7 pictures and you have a box with 8 words. Pick the suitable word with each one of them. Now we have a heater or air conditioner. What do you think, or which word do you think suit this picture the most? The answer is, the heater is broken. It needs to be repaired or fixed. So in the first sentence, or in the first part of the sentence, we describe what we are seeing. What we are seeing is that the heater is broken. And in the previous example here, the jacket is stained. So we are describing something. The heater is broken. Okay, what should we do about that? It needs to be repaired or it needs to be fixed. Okay, now what do you see here in the picture? The pants are torn. The pants are torn. What do they need? They need to be sewn. After that, we have number 3. We have a knife and a tomato, and a knife that isn't able to cut the tomato. So what's the problem? The knife is blunt. It needs to be sharpened. Number 4. We have a car that is hit from this side. So what's the problem? The car is dented. It needs to be mended or fixed. Number 5. We have a problem here with this button. So a button has fallen off. It needs to be sewn back on. Number 6. We have a broken heel here. So what's the problem? The heel has broken. It needs to be repaired. Number 7. The tire has a puncture. It needs to be replaced. Now I want you to open your workbook and go to page 29. On page 29, we have exercise N. In this exercise, we have a list of 9 words. These words are you are asked here to turn these words into the past participle. So, what are the proper answer for each one of these words? The first one, break, as we have many examples, is broken. Number 2, the word sew is sewn. Number 3, damage. It's not an irregular verb, so it is a regular verb, so it accepts adding the ed. The answer is damaged. Number 4 is scratched. Number 5, stained. Number 6, tear is irregular verb, so the answer is torn. Number 7, repair, becomes like repaired because it's a regular verb. Number 8 and number 9, they both take the ed at the end of the sentence. After that, on the same page, we have exercise Q. In this exercise, you are asked here to complete the sentences. We have 5 sentences, and in each sentence, you have a blank that needs to be filled. Use a present participle. Use a present participle of the verb in parentheses as an adjective. Okay, we have just learned how to use the present participle as an adjective. Number 1, trying on new clothes and shoes for a wedding is exciting, because we talked about the present participle, and we say it describes the feeling of something. Number 2, the gym class was, I went straight home and fell asleep on the sofa, and you have to use the word exhaust. So the answer is the gym class was exhausting. Number 3, these shoes are too tight. My feet are aching. Number 4, the cosmetics industry across America is, as women become more and more interested in beauty, is growing. Number 5, and the last one in our lesson today, is the students found the talk about beauty in ancient Egypt very interesting. That's everything about the present participle and the last part of our lesson today. Thank you all for attending, and I wish you enjoy the rest of the day. Assalamu alaikum.